Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's webinar. Thank you, as always, for being a My Real Source subscriber. I'm Debbie Fajardo, you know me, the Director of Education. Chris Nixon is with us today. He's a realtor, one of our members, and on my golf team, the My Real Source golf team. Chris is here to do the class, Marketing with MarketStats. He's also got something else to be adding to today's class, which is pretty cool. So he'll be putting in something new, and I'll be in the background. All right, well, I'm going to go off camera. I'll be in the background. If there's any questions, I will just interrupt. Right, Chris?
Debbie, I'm going to, I'll shut the video feed off once we get going. I just want to make sure that the right screen, the right screen should be showing there for everybody, which is my Real Source homepage.
Perfect. All right.
All right, so for everybody, my name's Chris. I am an instructor here at My Real Source with Debbie. I've been doing this for a little bit, and I'm also a realtor. So what I'm going to go over with you today is MarketStats and InfoSparks and everything else. But not only just show you how to do it, the element I'm going to add to today is kind of show you a practical way that you can use it and actually put it to good use and not just say, here it is, and then kind of walk away. So with that, I'm going to shut off my video feed, and Deb, let me know if for some reason the screen is not showing up. So everyone's looking over here at the My Real Source screen. As you can see, my cursor, whoops, is right here with the little target on it. If you follow along, what we're going to go over today is found off of the My Real Source homepage. Your page may look a little different than mine. If you know how to change the banners up top and everything else, you may have it looking a little different. So I go a little quickly in this class. Debbie downloads everything and puts it on our YouTube page. I'll show you how to find all that at the end of the class. So any webinar, whether it's mine or somebody else's you took, or you just want to get a little better at some skills that My Real Source offers, you can always go to our YouTube page and look at these webinars. They're edited down, so they're pretty good things to go and look at, pretty good videos to look at. I find myself, when I haven't used a particular item in a while, I go back just to see if there's been any updates or tips that I can pick up from other agents that teach. So with that, we're going to kind of jump into the class. To get to where we're going with MarketStats, it's up here under the resource button. I get mine to work. And then under MarketStats, this is where we're going to be focusing today. Everything that we're going to talk about is right here in MarketStats. So if you open up MarketStats, you have two really key elements here that you can use: InfoSparks and FastStats. I'm going to start out with FastStats for right now. You can always check your profile, make sure everything's good. Of course, you want your photo up there because some of this stuff, when you print it out, will be branded to you. So you want to make sure your information's correct. You have a most recent update photo so that you can, help keep reminding people who it is when they see something. It's always good to have your photo. You can check that under profile. So when you open it up, it automatically defaults to InfoSparks. I'm going to cover that the second half. Or the second part. Right now, we're going to jump into FastStats. FastStats is by far one of the quickest programs to use and the easiest program to use. I use it quite a bit in a lot of different applications. This is where you get the numbers for how the what all the monthly data is in a quick, easy tabulated form here. When you first open up FastStats, you have all the areas that My Real Source pulls information from. You can do the entire My Real Source area, or you can select an individual county. Now, if you're a member of another MLS, their FastStats, although it's going to be the same when it opens up, their map is going to look slightly different because they pull their data from different areas, okay? However, the areas that are the same, Macomb, Oakland, Wayne County, those counties, the data should pretty much all be the same. This entire information that I'm going to show you for InfoSparks and FastStats, it's updated around the 12th to the 15th every month. So right now we're into July, middle of July. These numbers for June came out towards the early part of July, around the 12th, I think, is when everything updated. So it's not too bad. We're running about 15 to 20 days behind on the information. So you have 3 different folders within FastStats that you can look at: the local market updates, the monthly indicator, and the monthly data sheet. I'll show you a little bit about each one as we go through this. The one I use the most is this local market update. It's in blue. It's the default setting when you click on FastStats, and this big map comes up like this. So you just select an area. You can either come over here to select an area and scroll through everything, which I find very cumbersome, or you can come back just to the county it's in, and then within the county you have the different cities or townships that you go and click on. In this case, we'll just take a look at Sterling Heights, where I live. Unfortunately, this report you can't do much with. It's pre-formatted in this blue and black color, and it always shows residential and condo broken down like this. The first column here is June. This is a comparison of June 2023 to June of 2022. And these are the column headings that they look at. The average sale price right here, actually in Sterling Heights, was down 3.1% from only June of last year. However, year to date, we're actually, on the average sale price, we're actually up in Sterling Heights 0.2%. Went from 314,237 to 314,923. This report, it comes out like this. It's just a PDF report. There's not a whole lot to it. Let's see if I shrink it down. That'll all fit on my screen a little better. And you can see everything right there. I use this report in several areas. One of the areas I use it is when I prepare a CMA. If I'm doing a CMA that's in Sterling Heights, I'll download this report and put it in my CMA. Just to kind of let them know how the numbers are tracking and everything else. You can again just quickly click on an area, on a city, and it'll tell you that city. So for instance, in Macomb Township, the average sale price actually is up 7.3% June to June, and up 1.1% overall. The reason why it's important to understand the different cities is because as a realtor, I'm always asked by people, hey, Chris, how's the market doing? My first question to them when they ask me how the market is doing, I always say, well, where do you live? What are you interested in? Because if I just, here's the Macomb County report. If I just focus on Macomb County, the average sale price is up 2% June to June and up 1% overall. If I go there and I say somebody, hey, well, you know, the market's going pretty well. It's up 2.3%, almost 2.5% compared to June of last year. And overall, the market's trending in an upward motion. I would be errant giving them that information if we actually looked at Sterling Heights when we saw it's actually down. So the first question I always ask them is, what market are they interested in? And then I refer to this report. Now you could be standing there going, well, how am I going to get to this report to show somebody quickly? One of the easy ways to get to this report is you can also access this report from Showing Time. So if you have the Showing Time app on your phone, I can't integrate my phone into this presentation. But if you open up your Showing Time app on your phone, remind me later, right here under reports, it's on the left-hand side on your phone. Scroll down, you'll see where it says reports. Come over here, and the top one is MarketStats. It'll open up and go right here to FastStats. Here's the same thing we just looked at. And then you open up the county, and I can send them to Sterling Heights. I've literally been out to eat with friends when they start talking to me about it. I've been at my kids used to play sports. They've since graduated and moved on. I'd be at sporting events, and parents knew that I was a realtor and would ask me. And it was the first thing I would say to them after I asked them, what market are you interested in? I said, tell you what, give me your email real quick. Or sorry, give me your cell phone real quick if I didn't have it. And then I would open up Showing Time. I'd go to Shelby Township, let's say, and then I would just send this report right to them, right to their phone, and text it to them right away. So now they're getting real-time information right away. I'm looking like I know what I'm doing, and I'm giving them the correct information. As you can see, Shelby Township's not doing quite as well as Macomb County overall. But so I always ask them, what market are you interested in? Or if I'm just having a casual conversation and we're talking about it and they tell me what market they're interested in, I kind of make a mental note of it when I get home if I already have their email address. If I don't, I'm going to say, I'll tell you what, why don't you give me your email address when I get home? I'll send you some information on it. How's that sound? Most people have always given me either their cell phone or their email. Hopefully I get both when I ask, if I don't have it already. And then when I get home, I pull this report up and I just send it to them as a quick attachment. So the important thing is, although you can see what the overall area is doing, you want to dial it into the individual city or township or wherever they live so that you can give them the accurate information. If you want to go back, just select the back button here. Takes you back to the whole MLS area that we pull our data from. Here's Oakland County. This area gets a little tight, so they broke it out down here. You can kind of see it where this is. Just if you want to see Royal Oak, for instance, if you got somebody who wants to see Royal Oak, just move your cursor to where it turns this lighter shade of green. Select the city, and it pulls up the information for Royal Oak. As you can see, their average sale price is up 3.5%, and year to date, that's from through 6/22. So from January here, it's they're up 4.9%. And of course, the condo, they give you a little graph down here. You can kind of see where it's trending up. So there's a lot of useful information in FastStats that come up when you search these reports. Couple ways to get to it. One of it's through Showing Time, as I showed you, through the Showing Time app. The other way is just through the Resource Center on your home screen of Paragon. So this is the local market updates. The other thing you can do is you can also go back and, if you want, for some reason, get some historical data, how the market was actually doing in a previous month, you can kind of see what's going on. So you just come down here, select the month that you're interested in. We can go all the way back to October of 2022. So this data will be for October 2022. Come to Macomb County, Shelby Township. Now this will only, as you can see, the headings change through October and year to date till October. So if for some reason you wanted to go back and see what was going on in previous months to up until that point, you can go and see it just by selecting, the time period. This is a lot of different realtor people send out information about, hey, here are the monthly statistics for how it's going, depending on who you subscribe to, what associations you're with. They all send out the data. They're either pulling it from, usually they're pulling it from what My Real Source offers as FastStats, or the other MLS in the area. They're using their data, but it's all pretty much the same where it's coming from, as you're seeing right here. So I wouldn't worry too much. Our numbers run parallel and they're pretty close. The most important thing is you're giving potential clients information, and you're giving it to them in a professional way so that they can start trusting you to become their trusted real estate advisor. So this is the local market updates. The other report that you have is the monthly indicators. This is only broken down by the entire My Real Source area. Like everything, you can go back for another time period. Just select the entire My Real Source area and it'll create this report. It's a rather lengthy report. Read through it if you want. Take out a sheet. You could always just copy one of these pages and include it if you want to include it in a CMA, or send it to one of your clients. As you can see, it's residential and condo, June, year to date, same information. It's just presented in a little bit different way. Here's a good thing. Historically, new listings by month. You can see there's a definite up and down every month. Pending sales, there's a lot of really good information in here. If you're one of those people that likes to read reports and look at numbers, this is a great tool. I've taken some of these individual pages and included them in my CMAs or other marketing tools when I wanted to. depending on the client. If you have a particular client that really likes this information and you're working with them, you're coaxing them to get them to the point where they're either ready to list or they're ready to start buying, and you know that they are more into numbers and things like that, you can send them this report to read as well. It's a pretty good report, gives them a lot of information. That is the monthly indicator. Again, covers the entire My Real Source area. The third report that you can get from FastStats is the monthly data sheet. This is another report that only encompasses the entire My Real Source area. So we select that, and this information comes up. And one of the nice things about this report, and where I use this report, is it breaks it down by county. And then you can see the total sales, median sales, total dollar volume. I use this report, the single page report, when I have investors that are trying to figure out they're either newer into the area or they're looking to expand and they're not quite sure where to go to get the best value for their investment. I'll send them this report and say, hey, take a look at kind of what's going on here. And this will help them determine maybe in a different county if it's a better investment than another investment. Looks like Shiawassee County is the only, from between June of last year to June of this year, these counties, the overall counties are up in the number of total sales. Everybody else has had a big fall off, right? So somebody can look at that and think, well, and then if you do a little more homework for them or they do it themselves, they might start seeing this is an area that they would want to invest in. You can kind of see across the median sales price right here. You know, again, Sanilac County had a big jump at homes. Livingston County, you can kind of see Macomb County is down between June of last year and June of this year. And then here are the year to date, June 23rd year to date versus June 22nd year to date. So there's some great comparisons in this report. Like I said, I do use this report to send it out to people. I look at it myself if I'm getting ready to sit down with some investors that I know are looking at multiple areas, specifically counties to invest in. This report has a lot of information in it. If you're one of those realtors that like to digest this kind of information and keep it in the back of your mind, this is where you can go and find it quickly and easily. So those are the three reports that you can find under FastStats. I spend the majority of my time using the local market updates. Like I said, I download the report and I include it in almost every CMA I do. It's one of the pages. I just save it to my desktop and insert it. And, you know, I give it to my clients that way. And more often than not, when I'm meeting with friends or, you know, at some event and someone asks me how the market's doing, I either send it directly through them at showing time at that point, or I come home. I use it as an opportunity to capture their information so I can add them to drip on them. And then I email them with this information to kind of let them know what's going on in their area. So that was FastStats. The other thing that you can find under MarketStats is InfoSparks. This is the tab that it defaults to under Paragon, Resources, MarketStats. It's going to default to this tab right here. InfoSparks automatically comes up. InfoSparks is a really, really good tool. I don't know how familiar you are with it, but again, this is something that I use quite a bit. I'll get to a little more of that later on. With InfoSparks, it allows you to compare up to 4 areas simultaneously based on these topics down below. You have sale price, median and average, new listings, home for sales. You can see all these different criteria at the bottom that you can compare different areas for. So I live in Sterling Heights, so I'm gonna just do this based off of how I would do. You know, if I was sending it out to somebody in this area, Sterling Heights. The next one is Shelby Township. So to start, once you enter your first municipality, city, whatever, you can move your cursor over to where it says add an area. Just select up there on the tab. Notice that now you have a blue line tab and a green line tab, which corresponds to these lines down here and over here. This is my second area. We're going to go with Shelby Township right there. I'm going to add another area, so I'm going to select add an area. It's a gray line tab. We're going to make this one Clinton Township. I want to caution you, as you can see, there are three Clinton Townships. To make sure you get the right one, in my real source, Macomb County starts with a 50. So if you want the Clinton Township that's in Macomb County, you have to select the one that begins with a 50. If you select either of these two, you'll still pull the data, but they'll be from different parts of Michigan. So just be aware when you're entering these data, anytime with these default screens and you see multiple townships or cities that come up, because there are some with similar names in the state, you want to select anything that starts with a 50 for Macomb County. Oakland County is 63. There are some in Oakland County that have multiple names. You want to start with a 63. And the last one is Macomb, just Macomb Township. So we open the tab, you start typing, and then it comes up, I want Macomb Township, not Macomb County. So those are my four municipalities that I'm going to do a comparison to send out to my clients who kind of live in the area. Just some overview. The colored lines match the colored tabs on top of the folder. As you can see, as I'm moving my cursor across the page, you can see the data is changing and shows up right here, right there in that box. It keeps moving. And then over here on the far right, in this kind of table on the side, it shows you the final tallies right here. Whoops, don't want to go that far. Where they're at. Down here on the bottom, again, gives another color code to match the lines. You can quickly change data that you're looking at by simply selecting one of these tabs on the bottom of your page. This is the median sales price. This is the average sale price. Number of new listings. You can see it's dropping. So if you were in this period, you know, this is when you start talking about people about listing, about maybe this is a better time or a worse time based on how the market's doing, the number of homes for sale. Okay, we took a big dip here, came up, came down. You interpret this data how you want to use it when you're trying to convince a client to either start looking for a home or to list their home. Days on market right now, this is a good one to look at. We kind of flatlined out right around this 10-day mark, 987, and days on market have been climbing up again. And right now we're averaging about 14 days on market. Shows per listing. Here we had a big peak up here, and those were around from last summer to beginning of the 2022. Things were going really crazy. It picked up a little bit right in here for last year, and now it's starting to trend back up again. So we're starting to see more shows per listing, which is always a good thing if you're trying to let somebody know is now a good time to list their home. You also have the ability to change it from a line graph to a bar graph, which gives similar information, but in a bar graph form, okay, where it shows per listing. Here's what the sale price looks like, the average sales price right here in the bar graph form. The bar graph form only goes back, I think, 3 years. I like to use the line graph. I like it visually better. With the line graph, you can go back 5 or 10 years. I typically keep 5 years on all my reports that I send out. And the other feature that I change is right over here, how it's calculated. This is a rolling 12-month data point, 6 months, 3 months. I keep it on monthly, and when I select monthly, you'll see how this really changes and gives a much better visual presentation of what the chart shows. Now you can really see that there seems to be the same ups and downs almost at the same point, you know, in every market and every time. So you can start seeing each one of these is a data point. So this was February 02, January. So they can specifically see what it is for that line when they move their cursor across. I keep saying they because the really, really nice thing about InfoSparks that I like a lot is you can share this information on several different ways. And so when a end user clicks on the screen, they are going to see this. They're going to have the ability to move their cursor around the page and see exactly what I'm showing, what's going on right here now. It's a little bit interactive. They kind of like that. So you want to share it. The only thing is you can only share one screen at a time. So if you want to share multiple things like average sales price and shows per listing, you're going to have to share these as two separate attachments. You can really see where COVID was. It's right. I mean, look at, we went down to no showings, and then right here we really all four of these markets in February, March, and April pretty much saw big jumps in showings. Sterling Heights had a big jump in showings per listing at the beginning of last year, February of last year. Then it slowly went down, and then we had another February and March. They started jumping up again. Anyways, that takes it to all the way over to June, where we're at now. Okay, this little arrow on the side allows the screen to open up all the way. You can go back 3 years. It'll give you the same data, just cut it off a little bit. We only go back 3 years. So what you want to do to share this information is this button right here. It says share. Open it up. You have step 1 and step 2. In step 1, you have two options, static and live. Static, exactly what you are seeing right now. Live, always update with the latest data. The difference between the two is if you're posting something and you're going to embed this or put it out as a Facebook post, if it's one of those where you put content out on Facebook every month and you have certain things you want to send out, and this is one of the items that you want to put out there on a regular basis, and you want to post it on your Facebook under live. If you're going to embed this on your website or a blog that you do or something similar, you want to do it as live. What live means if anybody goes back and clicks on it, it will automatically update. Okay, so on your Facebook posting, if you say, hey, if you want to see how the market is doing in your area, in these 4 areas, click on the graph below and you can see. All you have to do is post that. Every time that someone opens the graph, in July you'll have the new numbers, in August you'll have the new numbers, etc. That's what live does. What static does is it's only good for the time the graph was created. So if you're sending out to somebody and you say, hey, if you want to see how the market's done through the first half of 2023, check out this graph. Because I put an end date on it of the first 6 months of 2023, I'm going to post it as static. So that means even 2 months from now, if they click on the information for whatever reason, they're only going to get through June of 2023, the 6 months that I said. So similarly, if you say if you want to see how the market's doing through for the first quarter of this year, and here are the data through May, then you want to post that as static, so when they click on it, they're not seeing all the other information and your report looks wrong. That's the difference between static and live. All you have to do is toggle on either one, and that's how it'll save it. You can save it as a PDF, so you can print it just like this, and you can print it out and include it in a report. If you want to include this sheet in a CMA, you can. If you want to embed it as a social media or an email, you share it this way. You can embed it in a blog or website. Just select this, and it gives you some information on how would you like to embed your chart. Gives you a little bit of selection here on how to do that. Or if you want to do it as a CSV and grab the raw data, you can just select here. I use this quite a bit, social media and email. And when you select share, it gives you a website right here, your URL. All you have to do is copy and paste that, and it'll automatically, then when someone clicks on it, it's a live link, and it'll bring you back to this page for them to go through and look at it. Let's see if we click view in a window. Here's exactly what it's going to look like. Remember I talked in the beginning about your photo. It has your photo up top, your name, your company, your cell, your email, some other information. And then as they move across this, as I was talking about, they get the opportunity to see, their cursor move and the data move. It says shows per listing. This is the one we sent them. And so this is exactly what someone would see when they opened up an email. Okay, we're going to close that. The other thing that allows you to do once you have the 4 tabs open is you can set different price ranges, property types, square footage. You can kind of, if someone's only looking for homes, under $400,000, you can automatically just go in and say the price range of less than $400,000, and then it'll get rid of if there's higher end homes in there, that'll give them a more accurate reflection of how the market's really doing. So to change any one of these headings for price range, the red tab is open. These other 3 are grayed out, so you're only working in the red tab. Select custom, and then for Macomb Township, I clear them all. And then if I wanted to put 0, all you have to do is to put 401, which will take you, I'm sorry, 400,000. Actually get you to 401. And 400,000 or less, we select done. Okay. And you have to go through to each one and do the custom tab, clear them out. And we're done. Same thing for Shelby Township, custom, clear them out, 400, so we're all looking the same, in the same amount. 4099 or less, we select done. And Sterling Heights is the last one. As you notice, as I go across the tabs, the tab I'm working in stays white and everything else reverts to gray. We're going to make this one the same thing. So now this home search is only going to be $400,000 or less for my clients in that price range. You can also do residential, condo, or farm. It defaults to all property types. For my reports, I always say for single family residential, which means I come in and change this tab on everybody really quick. It doesn't change the data a whole lot, but I just like to do it for peace of mind, because in my write-up, I say, here's how single family residential homes are doing in these particular area. We're going for sale price here. Sale prices, you can see, we're doing the average sale price, and we'll do all property types. You can see there's a few different higher peaks here when you include all property types. And then if we select residential only, the peaks aren't as great. So that's why I do residential types. You can also do a square footage, same process we did for price range. If you want to select waterfront or not, acreage or not, all construction types. This includes new construction or previously owned. If we only go to previously owned in Macomb County, it changed just a little bit. We'll just leave it at all construction types. So I'm going to go through and reset this to clear all. Custom range. We're just going to go back and put in all the data that we had before for these property types for the dollar amounts. Here was how we originally started for everything. This one, custom. We want, where are we at? Shelby Township. Okay, done. Clinton Township. We'll highlight that tab. All I'm doing is resetting all the property values. We're going to Clinton Township here. So we're doing done. And Macomb's done. So the last one I have to do is Sterling Heights right here. We're changing it back to its original value for Sterling Heights, and we're done. So everybody should have their numbers over there now. Every tab should. So there you have what you can do with InfoSparks. You can change how you share it, whether it's a line graph or a bar graph, the number of years you go back, and the monthly data point. I'm going to leave it at 5 years. And then you have your different headings across the bottom that you can search for, that you can send them, that you can send this information out for people if they want to see how the markets are doing. As you can see, they were going into last year, they were staying on the market longer. They seem to have come down a little bit. We had a big drop off. They were selling pretty good and came back on, starting to increase more. And the nice thing I like about this is visually you can kind of see the same peaks, same times every year. So you can use this information to talk to buyers or sellers to let them know if you think it's more advantageous or not, whether to list a home or start buying. So here we go. We got the average sales price, and this is the graph. And now, what do you do with all this information? I've been talking to you guys a little bit about different things you can do with it, or how to get this information. Here's what I do with this information. It's going to sound like it takes a long time, but the reality is, and I just finished it, I don't think I spent over the course of 2 days 10, maybe 12 hours. So that's 5 or 6, no, not even that long, maybe 8 to 10 hours over the course of 2 days, 4.5, 5 hours a day, preparing this information so that I can send it out to my clients. I don't have a big CRM that I work through, and my brokerage doesn't offer that, so I kind of keep track of my clients myself. I sent out 120 emails in those days to my clients. I send them out at the beginning of the year, right after the December numbers come out. I say, here's how the season ended. And then in July, I send out how we did for the first 6 months. And how that looks is what I do. I'm opening up something for you guys to see. Hold on a second. I got to shrink my screen down. Debbie, I know you hate when I do this. What I do is I save everything under monthly updates. And what I went in is I took all the communities first with the FastStats, and I just saved them real quickly. I gave them the month and the year, and I saved all these different communities as quickly as I could. Click on them, and I just saved them. And I'm going to incorporate all these in an email individually. Then I created a standard message. Come on, open up. Why is it not opening? This is my email message that I put out to everybody. I created this pretty quickly. It doesn't take me very long to do. Here's the email body right here. I put in their name. This is the email body. I cut and I paste this in my emails. I take a look at every month before I do it. This one was for Roseville that I was sending them to. Sale price for a single family residential home in Roseville is up in June of 2023 compared to 2022. However, the average sale price for a single family in Roseville is down. If they're both the same, I'll put also, comma, is up. I just changed this paragraph a little bit. I come in and I change out, if I'm doing Macomb, I'll change it, change Roseville to Macomb here and here. And then this part, I just send it out to all my clients that are in the Roseville area. It sounds laborious, but once you get the hang of it, I can actually start doing something more with this data other than saying, here's a cool tool to do with it. I reach out to my clients a minimum of twice a year doing this. I give them the end of year statistics, and I give them the 6 month statistics. This first sentence, if I personalize this first sentence a little bit, I don't get too carried away, because all I'm trying to do is send them information on what's going on in their market. And I do take the extra 30 seconds to customize for the area. I had 8 customers in Roseville that I emailed it to. So once I changed the body in those three areas, the sentence in the 3 areas to include Roseville, and now I just cut and pasted this email 8 times over and sent it off to my clients. And then down below, as you see, I have already my areas pre-set up, and I shared that link right here in this part of the last part of this paragraph right here that says also includes right here for those areas. I already have this, so if I change areas, all I have to do is cut and paste the other paragraph from down below. It's getting a little confusing, I know, but it took me a minute to work the process out. Now at the end of the year and every 6 months, again, I'm investing maybe 6 hours of my time to send out over 100 emails, individual emails to people. So it's slightly better than just a mass email blast that say, here's what's going on in Macomb County. It gives me the opportunity to personalize it here a little bit. I also put in there, hey, if you know anybody who's buying or selling, please refer me. And I also mentioned that I have some partners with some excellent mortgage brokers. that are interested in, if you're interested in selling, buying, or considering refinancing, call me and I'll put you in touch with them. So this is kind of like a marketing thing for me. For every 6 months, I already created the same paragraph over and over, but as you can see in my headings, this is just easier for me to visualize. I put the link right here, so when I need to change the body of that one paragraph, all I would do is copy and paste this, and then right here for this paragraph, and then just change right here. I make sure I got my cities right. So I set all that up. The setting up takes the longest time, but now when I go to, now at the end of the year, when I go to copy paste that link for these areas, I'll go in and I'll create this in InfoSparks. I'll create that link, and all I do is just copy and paste it, and I'll just file it right here in this section and delete this old link, and I'm done. And that's it. Again, it doesn't take me very, very long to do this part, but I can actually start making good use of this information and actually get it out to clients in a meaningful kind of way. And so let me go back to the full screen. Where are my emails? So here's my emails. And here's where I sent. Come on. Here's all the people I emailed these to. As you can see, I emailed them out. Now, what I also do is I'll just click on this email. Here it is to Mike, guy named Mike. I didn't change anything. This is for Roseville, Macomb County. I also, now here's where I attach Macomb County overall and the individual Roseville for those people. These are the PDFs that we had for under FastStats for Roseville, and I also include the county overall for them so they can see. That way they have that. And if he were to click on this chart, here's what it would do. It would take him, this is what he's going to see if he opens up the chart right there. So it's a very interactive email. My paragraph says also included is a link to an interactive graph showing the average sale price for a single family residential home. I grouped Roseville with Fraser, Warren, Roseville, and St. Clair Shores over the last 5 years. Move your cursor around the graph to see the data for a specific month. So this is a practical use of what I'm showing you today. Like I said, it is a little bit long at times to do it, but honestly, I don't think I spent 5 hours over the last 2 days to send out well over 100 emails. Now, part of my campaign in staying in touch with all my clients is I give them a phone call or a text, and another in about a month from now, just saying, hey, we're getting ready to start the fall and everything else like that. I'll call them or text them. And then when I'm in that conversation with them, I don't want to do it too far from now, usually within a couple of weeks, about a month. I also ask them if they saw my email that I gave them with the monthly data, and do they have any questions about it. So it's giving me a reason to also get back to them by sending it out to them. So this is something that, in the past, I never shared this information in the class. I showed you how to use it. I showed you how to embed it in a Facebook post or on your, on a blog and go from there. Right now, if most realtors were a little slow, we have a little bit of extra downtime. So my question to you is, why wouldn't you take this information and put it together in a format that works for you? I'm just showing you how I do it, and then sending it out, and you can get individualized on it. Yes, it would be very easy to take all my Macomb County clients and say, here's what's going on in Macomb County, call me if you have any questions. But I'm going the little bit of extra time that it takes me to send out these cities to my individual clients, so that, again, I'm trying to demonstrate to them that I know what I'm doing as a realtor. There are some clients that live a little bit further from here. They're in smaller communities. I won't necessarily group them with communities around there. I'll just send it out as just a single chart for their area in specific. People who just moved, I put clients in the house last fall. I know they're not really interested in selling, but I'm sending it to them, and I'll put in there for the tagline at the bottom, hey, if you got any friends that like your home and want to live in the area, let them know this is how the area is doing or something like that, just to kind of push them along and keep reminding them that not only am I here for them, but their friends, family, and coworkers that might want to work and live in the area. Two of my clients, I knew from when my kids played sports with them. They've all graduated. They're getting ready to go be 2 years after graduation. I know they're starting to look at apartments, homes, or something like that. You bet I put in there a line and, hey, just keep me in mind when your kids start looking for homes. I named the kids specifically because I know them. I'm here for them. I can help them find a condo or the house that they're looking for. So this information can be used in a lot of different ways. It's a very powerful tool. You can include it in CMAs. You can also access all of this through showing time, so you can get it out to people quickly. It's all that's going to help you be a better realtor compared to everybody else. I also, just because I look in Sterling Heights, I print that report for myself on a regular basis. A handful of my clients come from this area. I seem to be talking more to people from the Sterling Heights area. So I look at that report a little regularly, and I kind of know those numbers better than I know the other communities. I don't know communities that are on the west side in Oakland County. I got friends in the Plymouth, Canton, Farmington Hills area. I've listed some of their homes for them. So if I kind of want to know what's going on, I could just come over to FastStats, open up Oakland County, whoops, and go, Wayne County, and go over here to Canton or Plymouth or Livonia. I got friends in Livonia. And this will tell me kind of what's going on in Livonia. So even though I'm not really familiar with way over there, I can talk to them about what's going on in their market simply by looking at this report. I recently had a relative that was living downriver here in Trenton, and they asked me to list a property for them. Other than my relatives living down there, I don't really know much about the Trenton market. So when I sat down to talk to them, I had this information on hand to look at where we were going and how things were trending and everything else like that. So I used it for myself, and I also used it to give them the information. But I looked at this first so that I kind of knew how the market was doing before I even sat down with them to talk to them about listing their home. And so that's what you can do with this information. You got FastStats and you have InfoSparks. FastStats has the pre-formatted report. I'm going to summarize everything with the 3 tabs that you can go through here: local market updates, the monthly indicator, and the monthly data sheet. All you do is select the area you want to go, and then the municipality, and you can pull all the information. FastStats on the that was FastStats. InfoSparks, on the other hand, allows you to compare up to 4 different areas. The other thing you can kind of do with InfoSparks, I forgot to mention it, if you're in an area that has multiple zip codes and you kind of want to, and someone says, I want to be in a zip code, you can let them know how different zip codes are. You can do. You can, like mine in Sterling Heights is 48314. You can put in that and just look at my zip code, and I think 48312 is the other one here. There's 4 of them. I don't know them all. I should. Yeah. You can see the 2 zip codes compared here. So maybe someone's like, hey, I don't know, or I want to stay in a zip code. Well, are you staying in a zip code for school or what? You can also do school systems if you want. So Utica Community Schools versus, let's do Troy School District right here. And then we'll throw in Warren Consolidated because that's next, just south of me. Warren Consolidated Schools. And you can see how the average sale price has been doing. Change this to the monthly data points if you want. Here are just the 3 different school districts: Utica, Troy, and Warren Consolidated. The average sale price seems to be $384, $496, and $252 for those 3 areas. What I find interesting when I look in the graphs is usually the peaks seem to be across the board. They seem to follow each other. Normally when one has a peak, they all kind of have a peak. Anyways, that's some different things you can do with InfoSparks. You can find them all up here under the Resources tab and Market Stats. That's how you can do a better marketing campaign, either when you do a CMA, you can include this information, do an email blast like I have been, or you can embed it on a blog or a Facebook post. You can take the info sparks, create your graph, put it in there, and ask people to click on it, and you can capture the information that way. This is a pretty powerful way for you to generate a lot of free marketing for yourself that we give to you through My Real Source. In closing, I'm just going to kind of wrap it up here. Sorry, throat's dry. I talked to you at the beginning about where to find all this really great information that Debbie has for us. It starts right here in this light blue bar. You can see we have our YouTube page right here, the YouTube tab. If you click on the YouTube tab, excuse me, takes me directly to the My Real Source YouTube page. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe and like the pages. We appreciate that. That just helps us to get better profiling in the YouTube video world and everything else like that. Here are all the topics that the different tabs you can go to find everything. If you go to videos, Debbie kind of has these all broken down into, here are the different videos that are out there, and here's the playlist. This is where you can find everything, where you come down here. We just introduced Kubacasi floor plan. If you're not familiar with that, please take a look at it. It's a really cool tool. I've used it a couple times already. I love it. Here they all are, is the Paragon MLS system. If you want to know a little more about how to use HomeSnap Pro and showing time, if you select on that tab and open it up, it'll show all the different ones that have been edited. Oh, it started playing for me. Didn't want that, sorry. So you can come through and see the different videos that have already been made. Maybe go back and catch something that I was talking about that you want a little more information on once it's up, but they're all right here under the playlist. If you want to search for something specifically, do not search up here because this will take you to the YouTube search. You want to come down here where the magnifying glass is, select the magnifying glass. In this case, we'll type in Market Stats and then hit enter, and it should pull up. Here you go. Here's the whole playlist of all the, you can view the full playlist right here. Here are all the ones you go to and look at that have already been put up there. This is all on our YouTube page. You know, it's a great page. I go to it a lot. Like I said, Kubacasa was just introduced. It's a floor plan simulator that we have. I'm getting more familiar with it, so I go through and I do that. I always go back to Authentisign and Instanet because there's always changes going on in there. And although I'm very familiar with it, I know the instructors that do that, they're always throwing out new things that they encountered. So I pick up little tips and tricks to make my experience quicker when I'm using those items. So a lot of great information here on the YouTube page. Another place you can go is on the My Real Source homepage up here in this dark blue bar across the top where it says MLS Documents. If you select that, you'll see our library. And if you come down here to where it says MIRS Education, there's 104 files. Here is where you will see all the PDFs and other charts that Debbie puts out as part of training. So here's the Market Stats and Lead Gen. It was created 4/7/23. If you select that tab, you'll be able to see all this right here. This is what came out as a handout. You can get this information if you just want a quick reference guide. That's where you'll find these. There's some really good ones in there. These are also something that I pull up from time to time to look at if I'm going into class, or if I just want to see how to do something a little better. Maybe I'm a little rusty, haven't used that particular tool in a while or whatever. I can come up here to the documents. You can also do a quick search. You type in market, should pull up all the ones pertaining to Market Stats, and they're right there as well. And that's under the MLS Documents, and there's a lot. Oh, tab's already open. You don't need any of these other stuff. Just come up here to the MIRS Education one. That's the one that'll have everything in there. So that's your home page real quickly, just the YouTube and the documents right here. these three tabs right here, if you select the MLS, this will bring you for the content here for My Real Source. If your company has stuff loaded, mine does not, you would see a tab up here for your company, which may bring up some company information. Here's some other quick links for class schedules if you want to sign up for any other classes or see what's coming up. If you just open this up, here are all the classes that are coming up. You can select them and sign up for them. Pretty easy process here at this class, so you know how that works, how the sign up process works. That's about it really quick for MarketStats. It's right here under resources. It's a great tool. I really encourage you guys to use it all. There's so much more to do with it just other than including it in a marketing campaign. You can do email blasts with it. You can get very creative with it. It's a good way to give you an opportunity. I mean, how much easier to create a reason to reach out to your clients every 6 months. And unless you're one of the top performing agents that's working on a team and has assistants and everybody that works with you and a whole program set up, maybe you can have somebody incorporate this too. But if you're a smaller agent, not getting the number of deals that you want to get, but you have a number of good people that you're trying to reach out to on a regular basis, take the time to do this every 6 months, and that at least puts you out in front of those people every 6 months, and a reason that maybe you'll start getting a few more phone calls and referrals as a result of it. You can tailor the program how you want. Anyways, that kind of wraps up everything that I have. So with that, I'm going to end it unless, Debbie, you have anything else you want to add in here?
Not at this time. Thanks, Chris.
All right, so I will just end the broadcast. I greatly appreciate you guys tuning in. I hope you guys got some really great information from it. Please go to our YouTube page. There's you'll find all kinds of things on there. If you're not familiar with Cuba Casa, take the time to watch a couple of those videos on it. I did it in my own house, and I was amazed at how well it worked in my own house. And I have started sending it, using it with clients in other areas like that. So anyways, thank you guys again for your time. Have a great day, and hope you guys have a great rest of the year coming up.